As I pull my camera back, exactly what you got, because this is an old line, and there's areas that have bellies, bellied areas. So what that means is the connections are here and here, and the pipe is settled in the middle. A house settles, it settles just like a house settles. Tree root getting into your line will also make it lose its pitch.
Okay.
To have a proper pitch, it's like a 1/4 inch every foot all the way out. So you might start outside the wall at 7 feet deep. By the time you're in the street, it's 11 feet deep, or whatever. You know, that's how it works. So I'll show you right here.
One thing you did mention is that the tree is around the back of the house. And this line comes in from the front of the house.
So what this is called here is the top of, this is called a drop. So watch my camera drop. It goes down, and right there is the city sewer water going by.
Okay.
Okay? So as we pull this back, we're going to hopefully keep this camera clean enough to see everything. Yeah.
So what are you looking for here?
I'm looking for cracks, misalignments. I'm looking for breaks in the line, tree root. So yeah, so see, there's a connection there. I'm looking at all these connections to make sure that there's no separation between and no water getting in between the separated connection.
On the right side, the silver area is a scuffed metal?
No, it's just my camera lighting it up.
Okay.
This is all crock. It's called crock pipe or clay pipe, whatever you want to call it.
Oh, it's not cast?
No, cast. The cast is what you have inside the house, just like this. This is cast iron. And when it gets outside the house, probably about 6 or 7 feet, is where it connects to the clay pipe, and clay pipe all the way to the tap of the sewer.
Okay. It shouldn't be a problem.
There was a problem with see like a bunch of moisture, right?
Not necessarily.
No?
No. You might not see anything, and you could have major problems. I see it all the time. So right now it's kind of hard because I'm trying to look through the water on the bottom of the pipe to see for cracks and everything, but I don't see anything yet. It's pretty clean.
This pipe you're seeing, is that the cast parts for the pipe?
Clay. Yep, it's only going to be, I'm 62 feet out right now, so
Okay.
you'll see the cast iron at about 7 feet, I think. So this here is just, see that white around the connection? That's just calcium buildup. And you'll see that it's normal. It's in every sewer line that has clay pipe. And if it ever gets thick enough, there's ways of getting that out of there also.
And do I get a video footage?
Yes, you do. You get the video right in my report. See how there's water in there. So there's going to be areas I can't see. And then
That's where it kind of, the grade changes, that's why you see water settle.
That's a little oval shape there instead of round. So what I'm going to say is you need, anytime that I'm inspecting a line and it's an older house, I'm gonna put some kind of addendum in the report that says it's an old line, you need to look at this every 3 to 4 years or whatever.
Okay.
So even though that looks a little funny to me, I'm going to say that could really be nothing. And the side there didn't look bad at all.
Is it oval because it's like compressing over time.
Yeah, and that's what happens, especially under the street. Now see, when I pulled back, now it looks a lot more circular, right?
Yeah.
Now it looks fine.
So the reason for the water settling in is those bellies you were talking about?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. And that happens to every sewer line eventually. And that's just more calcium buildup again. But I think that that connection looks fine. I can see it there on the side and going into the water. That one there looks really good. My other camera's in the shop. My other camera is self-leveling, so the water's always on the bottom.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm always turning my head with this camera.
Okay.
Sure put that over.
I'm turning my head like a dog. That's just more calcium again. There's nothing wrong with that. So it's pretty amazing that even with all the bellies in the line, when you get to the areas that aren't holding water, there's no waste held back.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, because see what happens, what usually happens over time is if you have this area is holding water and the next isn't. So the water washes through, but it doesn't necessarily take the waste. And then that waste builds up, more waste hits that, and now you could have a blockage. So you want to just stay up on it, you know, stay up on your inspections so that you don't have any surprises one day coming home from work. That connection's a little raised, but not bad. That's a pretty... See, those bellies are only a foot or two long. That one there has got a lot more calcium buildup than any of the rest so far. So that's blocking like almost a third, right? A quarter to a third of the flow.
So in order to clear that, it's just a matter of chemicals?
No,
Doesn't have to be-
no
what do you
chemicals.
do? Oh, so you just brush it? Is that
What
you do? Hire somebody?
what
to
you do
that?
is, so if let's say you had tree red in here, right?
Uh-huh.
You'd have a contractor come down here with a snake, with a cutter on the end of that,
I see.
and cut. But they would never get that out because the cutter would miss that whole thing. So what you use is an expandable cutter. It goes into the pipe closed. When it gets in the pipe, it opens up to the wall on the inside of the pipe and cuts at the wall. So it gets everything.
So it cuts, oh, so it's this way of scraping?
Yes.
Okay, get it.
Because a lot of times I'll see your line might be 6 inch, right, in diameter.
Mhm.
It goes from 4 to 6 inch actually. So if you had 6 inches of tree root, the whole thing would be full. I see it a lot.
Yeah.
The contractor will come over and put a 2-inch hole through the 6-inch tree root,
Yeah.
and then 2 months later, it's back closed again,
Yeah.
right? So you got to use an expandable cutter.
6.
I was just gonna say, there's no evidence of any tree.
No, not at all.
Root or anything like that. It's more
I
about
haven't-
just the basic
Yep,
thing that you typically see.
have not seen any tree root yet.
No, it's okay. So the expendable, the tool,
Cutter.
cutter, that's the like a power tool, almost? Or
Yeah.
do you manually turn?
No, they use it with the same thing. They put it on the end of the snake line, and it's all powered. They step on it and it grinds and
Okay.
goes through, and I mean there's a lot of torque going on. But I don't see any reason for. A lot of times I'll say, especially with an old sewer line, you really don't want to put that kind of torque on this system because the system's old and the system's bad. But this system doesn't look. It looks like there's a lot of integrity left.
Great.
Yep. So this is where I was telling you. This is where your crock pipe connects back to your cast iron. This is all cast iron.
So that the ring is normal?
That ring is, that's the most calcium buildup that you have so far.
Okay.
You don't need to get it out of there yet, but it's just staying on top of it because I've seen them get, 90% closed, and now how's the water get out, right? I really like to see that.
Okay.
Of course, it's holding water right where I want to see this cast iron. I'm only going to be able to look from here back. That's not bad. That cast iron looks pretty darn good for its age.
What do you typically see if there's an issue?
Well,
More calcium or something else?
what with the cast iron?
Yeah.
Clay pipe deteriorates, and the connections of the clay pipes deteriorate. That's how tree bark gets in and
I
everything.
see. Okay.
Cast iron pipe scales like a snake.
Oh,
So, I was project manager at U.S. Steel for 15 years over the whole structural program.
okay.
So over Zug Island,
Oh, wow.
beautiful, lovely Zug Island that I had to live on for like 10 years. But so that pipe scales like a snake and scales off and lands on the bottom of the pipe, and then the water pushes it out. And then the only thing we can do is look at that pipe to determine its integrity with our eyes.
Okay.
And there's certain things you would see. You would see little pock holes in the cast iron. You can see like waves going through it and stuff. And if I can see that, then I know you're losing life here. You don't have much time.
I see.
This
You don't
pipe,
see any of that.
no, this pipe is in really. This cast iron is really good for its age.
So the other area where there was a pool of water,
Yeah.
cast type area,
Yes.
why does it do that? Because cast iron doesn't belly, doesn't deform.
Well,
It's the grade.
that was because that's where it connected to the crock pipe. Yeah, the clay pipe. Yeah. Yeah.
The actual grade.
Yeah,
The
it-
percentage of the grade change.
If you want to pop some corn and go through the video,